Golf is one of the few sports where being down doesn't always mean you're out. Just when you think someone's about to pack it in, they pull off something so wild it makes you wonder if they've got some kind of deal with the golf gods. Today, we're diving into the top 7 most insane comebacks in golf history. The kind of stories that make you shake your head and say, "No way that just happened." And trust me, you'll want to stick around because the last one, let's just say it's proof that even when things look impossible, you've got a shot literally. First up, we've got Henrik Stenson. Now, Stenson's story isn't just about golf, it's about losing it all and clawing your way back. Back in 2009, Stenson was killing it. Wins, endorsements, the whole deal. But then, the Stanford financial Ponzi scheme hit, and Stenson lost over $8 million. Think about that. $8 million gone. You'd think that kind of blow would break a guy, right? Well, it did for a while. Stenson's game took a nosedive and he dropped all the way from being in the top 10 to 230th in the world rankings. For a guy who was rubbing shoulders with the best of the best, that's about as bad as it gets. But here's where it gets good. Stenson didn't just sit around feeling sorry for himself. He put his head down, rebuilt his swing, and got back to work. Fast forward to 2013, and not only did he win the FedEx Cup, but he also took the European Tours race to Dubai. Oh, and he pocketed over $10 million in the process. I mean, talk about a comeback. From losing millions to winning millions, Stenson's story is the ultimate "don't count me out" moment. Now let's talk about Carrie Webb. This one's got drama written all over it. It's the 2006 Kraft Nabisco Championship. Webb had just come off her first winless season on the LPGA Tour, and everyone's whispering maybe she's past her prime. And after 3 rounds, she's 7 shots back. 7 shots. That's the kind of deficit that makes most players start mentally packing their bags. But not Webb. No, she decides to remind everyone exactly who she is. By the time she gets to the 18th hole in the final round, she's clawed her way back into contention. But she needs something big, like Hollywood ending big. And then from 116 yards out, she sinks an eagle. Boom! Game on! The place went nuts, and for good reason. It was the kind of shot you'd dream about. Webb wasn't done though. She went into a playoff and sealed the deal, celebrating like a champ with a leap into the lake. That's how you shut people up, by doing something unforgettable. Steve Stricker's comeback isn't just a good golf story, it's a life lesson. Back in the late 90s, Stricker was one of the guys to watch. But by 2004, his game had completely fallen apart. He lost his PGA Tour card and was by all accounts done. Except Stricker didn't get the memo. Instead of giving up, he went back to his hometown in Wisconsin, set up a practice area in a trailer, yes, a trailer, and spent the winter grinding it out. No fancy golf academy, no team of coaches, just a guy with a dream and a lot of grit. By 2006, he was back, and not just back, he was better than ever. Between 2007 and 2012, Stricker won 9 PGA Tour events and became one of the most consistent players on tour. Oh, and he got voted Comeback Player of the Year twice in a row. Twice! If that doesn't inspire you to keep going when things get tough, I don't know what will. Now, Gary Player's 1978 Masters comeback is proof that age is just a number, at least if you're Gary Player. At 42 years old, Player was 7 shots back going into the final round. Most people would have written him off as too old to pull off anything special. But Player, he was just getting started. He played a solid front 9, but it was the back 9 where he caught fire. And when I say caught fire, I mean it. He shot a record-tying 30 on the back 9, sinking birdie after birdie like it was nothing. The crazy part was that he had to wait 40 minutes in the clubhouse to see if his score would hold up. 40 minutes of sitting there knowing you've done everything you can and hoping it's enough. And it was. Player won his 3rd green jacket that day, proving that you're never too old to make history. You knew this one was coming. Tiger. The 2019 Masters wasn't just a comeback, it was a comeback for the ages. Tiger hadn't won a major in 11 years. He'd gone through injuries, surgeries, and more personal drama than a soap opera. By 2017, he couldn't even walk without pain. A lot of people, myself included, thought he was done. But Tiger wasn't done. He spent years rebuilding his body and his game, and when the 2019 Masters rolled around, he was ready. Sunday was classic Tiger, methodical, patient, and just waiting for the right moment to strike. When Francesco Molinari dunked his ball into the water on 12, Tiger pounced. He played the rest of the round like a man possessed, finishing with a 70 to win by one shot. Watching him hug his kids on the 18th green was something else. It wasn't just a win, it was redemption. Alright, now we've got Rory McIlroy's 2011 US Open. This one's a little different because it came right after one of the biggest meltdowns in golf history. Just 2 months earlier, Rory had a 4-shot lead going into the final round of the Masters. Everyone was ready to crown him the next big thing. And then, disaster. He shot an 80 on Sunday, including a hook so bad on the 10th hole, it practically ended up in another zip code. The whole thing was hard to watch, and you could see the weight of it on Rory's face. But Rory didn't let that Masters collapse define him. When he showed up at the US Open, he wasn't just playing to win, he was playing to prove something. From the first tee shot, he was locked in. Rory didn't just win that tournament, he destroyed the field. He set the US Open scoring record at 16 under par, winning by 8 shots. That's how you bounce back from heartbreak. Instead of letting the pressure break him, Rory used it as fuel, and he came out stronger than ever. Finally, let's talk about Lefty. Phil Mickelson spent years as the best player never to win a major. Every time he got close, something went wrong. But in 2004 at the Masters, Phil decided he'd had enough of that narrative. Heading into the final round, he was tied for the lead, but the pressure was insane. Phil had this reputation for taking risks that didn't always pay off, and everyone wondered if he'd play it safe or go for broke. Well, he went for broke. The turning point came on the 18th hole. Phil needed a birdie to win outright. Most people would have been shaking in their golf shoes, but Phil stepped up, drained a 20-foot putt, and did that iconic little hop celebration. It wasn't just a win, it was a career-defining moment. And then in 2021, Phil pulled off another miracle by winning the PGA Championship at age 50. Let that sink in. 50. He became the oldest major championship in history, proving that you're never too old to do something incredible. Golf's greatest comebacks remind us why we love this game. It's not just about who has the best swing, it's about heart, grit, and the ability to rise above when the odds are stacked against you. So next time you're standing over a tough shot, just remember, if these legends can come back from being scammed out of millions, painful injuries, and 7-shot deficits, you've got no excuse not to give it your all. Are there any other comebacks that you would add to the list? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.